Hi again, everyone. I guess the purpose of this particular session is to look at a couple of things that we didn't look at last time, and I want to look at the account and how you would set that up in a way that's hopefully user friendly for you, and also the help menu here and how you would use that and why you might use that as well. So if we go into the account, I'll say that I'm logged in as a parent here, that the same parent that I was logged in as before. And if I go into this account, you'll see several things here that I can look at. So if we start with the profile, this is your user profile. All right, now, first thing I'd say is that feel free to enter a picture of yourself. So if you click in the area of a picture, you can see how you can upload a picture. So there's a nice picture of yourself when someone looks at you as a person on Canvas. So feel free to do that and treat yourself to a nice picture on Canvas. If you want to edit anything here, because you can see that at the moment the picture's not there, there's no biography and there's no links. If you wanted to do that, then you'd click edit, and for example here where there's the bio, you'd enter information, personal information about yourself if you want to. There's certainly no reason that you need to, but if you did want to, you could do that there. If you wanted some quick web links that you wanted access to through your Canvas page, then you could do that as well, and you'd click Save Profile. If you also want to look at ways that people can contact you through Canvas, you can select settings here. You can also select settings from the account menu over here as well. I'm not actually going to go into it at the moment because there's personal email information there for this particular user. But if you did go in there, you would notice on the right hand side of the screen that you would see something that says Add Contact Method on the right hand side of the screen, and you could add an email, although in most cases your email address will already be there, or a mobile number to receive SMS alerts through Canvas as well. So if you wanted to set up different ways that you could be contacted through Canvas, you could do that. So if we go back, if we just cancel the editing because we didn't actually end up editing anything, what you're going to see next is notifications. Now, notifications are really important because it's the way that you set these up that will determine how you are notified about different things happening within Canvas, within the courses that your students are enrolled in. Now, again, I'm just going to show, I'm not actually going to go in there, but I'm going to show you a bit of a screenshot of what you see when you go into the notifications area. Now it's a bit busy, so I apologize for that, but hopefully it'll make sense as we look at this particular page. So you'll see something like this if you go into your notification preferences. Now, for example, you can see that you can set up notification preferences for things like due dates. So when a due date is set for a task in one of the activities or courses that your student is enrolled in, you can ask to be notified of that. Now, the reason of using this as a screenshot is because where you see this blue box here, this user's email address was, and we decided not to show that for everyone to see, and especially if we upload this to YouTube as well. But if you wanted to say that I definitely want a notification of all the due dates of tasks that are set for my student, you'd follow this across and you'd play with this notification here. And what it says in the little text box next to this is that when you hover in one of the cells on the right under email address, you will have the following options. So you can select notify me right away, and that will say the minute that someone sets a due date for your student, you'll receive an email saying this particular task has been set, the due date is this. You could opt for a daily summary, which at the end of each day you would get a summary of the due dates that have been set for your student across that day. You could ask for a weekly summary. You could say at the end of each week I want a summary of all the due dates that have been set for my student in that particular week. Or you could say don't send me anything. And there's some of these notification, I guess, areas, if you like, where you're not actually going to want anything. And when I look through this list to start with, I'd say as a parent, I definitely want to be aware of due dates. I definitely want to be aware of. Perhaps announcements. If teachers are making announcements within their classes, then I think I'd like to know what those announcements are as well. And I'd like to know information about grading, so that if my son or daughter received a grade for a task in one of their courses, that I would get a notification about that as well. And I can set them up in these ways right away: a daily summary, a weekly summary, or nothing. And some of these other things you're going to say, look, I don't want them at all. I don't want notifications about them at all. If you look through, and again, this is a screenshot, there are other areas where you'll set up your notifications as well. But as it says here, if you're not sure what these notifications refer to, hover over the cell and it will let you know what you are signing up for, or not signing up for if you like. So if you hovered over the due date cell, it would come up with a little text box next to it saying, this is what you are signing up for. If you say that you want a daily notification on this, then this is what you will be receiving. If you look on the far right, you'll see push notification, and essentially what that means is if you download the app, the Canvas app, and if that is operating on your phone or your iPad or whatever device that you're using it on, these are the notifications that you'll get through that app. So, and there's two options here. Where it says ASAP, that means you've selected notify me right away, and if you've selected the opposite, that'll be don't send me anything. So, and I think that will sort of appear as a number. So when you open up your device and you look at the Canvas app, you'll see a number there, and that will alert you to the fact that you've got 3 notifications within that Canvas app. And it might be for whatever you've signed up for. It could be a due date, it could be an announcement, and it could be a grade, for example. But that's what the push notification actually means there. And if we just go back, but I think that that's something that you need to know, because initially you might be receiving all of these notifications and you think to yourself, gee, I'm snowed under by notifications. I need to know where to go to change my notification preferences, or I'm not actually hearing anything. How do I get into my account to make sure that I'm getting the notifications that I want and not relying on having to log into Canvas? So I think people are going to find the convenience of just setting up their notification preferences so that they get an email to indicate or to let them know the things that they need to know. I think people are going to find that really useful. If I go back into the account, you'll see files here. Now, files, pretty much you can use Canvas as your own form of internet-based storage if you like, simply by saying I want to upload some files. So if you're looking for a storage area where you want to upload your files, then feel free to use Canvas. The other thing that I will just mention really quickly is that you'll see e-portfolios here, but e-portfolios are really probably for students. If you wanted to create an e-portfolio where you display some of the things that you're proud about, then feel free to do that. But I think that the e-portfolio is largely designed to be something that students use within their accounts. So hopefully that gives you a bit of a feel for what you are able to do and how you would set up your account, and especially notifications. I think that's probably the thing that people will spend the most time on, setting up the notifications so that they work for them. The last thing I want to show you quickly is this help menu, which is just the question mark bottom left of the screen. And when you select help, you'll see this menu come up, and probably I think most people would either call the Canvas support hotline, which is there, or people would search the Canvas guides, which I know I have found really useful when I've had different questions about what I need to do within Canvas. Now, parents and caregivers are observers. That's the term that you have within Canvas. Let's go back. And so if the first port of call for a parent or caregiver would be to go into the observer guide. And you can see the types of questions here are probably the types of questions that most parents or caregivers would have. So my first port of call, if I had a question as a parent or caregiver, would be to go into the observer guide and look at these questions just to see if that answered my question in the first instance. If I wasn't sure that it did, I can search and I can type something in here that will direct me to where that can be found within Canvas as well. And alternatively, I can call the support number as well. So hopefully that helps you a little bit with how you might be able to access some help. And of course, people at the school would be more than willing to help you out as well. So again, I hope that's helped. I hope it's been useful for you to see how it works and how you would perhaps go about doing some things. And yeah, I hope you enjoy Canvas. I think you'll find it really useful for what you need to be doing as a parent or caregiver and just trying to manage the workload that your students have. So thanks.